Chapter 4476. You teamed up with Little Qing? Lu Ming was puzzled, and so were the others. Of course, Xian Yinqing was the only exception. She and I have a joint attack technique. Once we use it, its power is astonishing. With our current strength, we can even kill a second-tier Divine Lord. Dark Knight Rose explained. Everyone's hearts trembled. Dark Knight Rose and Xian Yinqing had a joint attack technique that could unleash such astonishing power. In truth, joint attack techniques that could increase one's power were very difficult to cultivate and were very rare. Only after many years of cooperation and telepathy could one unleash the full potential of each person's talent. Only then could it be considered a truly powerful joint attack technique. That kind of cooperation through a formation could not be called a true joint attack technique. It was just a kind of formation. Lu Ming had seen Xian Yinqing and Xian Yinjuan use a joint attack technique. Could Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose use it as well? It was very likely. After all, their relationship in his previous life was similar to his relationship with Qiuqiu. It was just that they had spent much more time together. It was normal for them to be able to use a joint attack technique. Xian Yinqing nodded silently, clearly agreeing with Dark Knight Rose's words. But we don't even know who our opponent is. Even if we have a joint attack technique, we can't use it. How can we lure the murderer out? Myriad God asked. The murderer wants the natal spirit stone fragments. As long as we give the murderer an opportunity to attack, won't he come out? Dark Knight Rose said. You want someone to be the bait, but in the current situation, if you deliberately use them as bait, the murderer will probably be suspicious and won't fall for it easily. Lu Ming said. Everyone was in danger and doubted the people around them. If they did something strange, such as deliberately leaving to be the bait, the murderer would most likely be suspicious. Because in the current situation, it was not normal for one or two people to deliberately leave. Anyone with a brain would suspect that there was something fishy going on. There are two conditions to lure out the culprit. First, the natal spirit stone fragments. Only with enough natal spirit stone fragments will it be attractive enough. Secondly, there needs to be a suitable reason. Therefore, we can only rely on Lu Ming and me. Dark Knight Rose smiled. The two of us have enough life spirit primordial stone fragments, but how can we leave without arousing suspicion? Lu Ming said, a handsome man and a beautiful woman, dry wood and blazing fire. Is there a better reason than this to sneak away? Dark Knight Rose said, staring at Lu Ming with her big watery eyes. Lu Ming was speechless. The others were also speechless, especially Autumn Moon and Xian Yinqing. They looked at Dark Knight Rose with hostility. I think we should use other methods. Lu Ming said. Is there a better way? Tell me. Dark Knight Rose said. Lu Ming was silent. To be honest, there was no better reason than this. Using other methods would seem too deliberate, and the culprit might not be fooled. But this method, are you afraid that your woman will be jealous? Ha ha ha, we're not doing anything. We're just leaving for a while to lure the culprit out. As long as the culprit shows up, we'll immediately send a signal and the others will arrive to suppress the culprit. It's that simple. Why are you hesitating? Are you a man or not? Dark Knight Rose said. Lu Ming was speechless. Lu Ming, I think this plan is feasible. Xian Yinqing suddenly said. Young master, I think so too. Autumn Moon also quickly expressed her opinion, as if she was afraid of falling behind. Lu Ming, your woman has already expressed her opinion. What are you still hesitating for? Are you a man or not? Dark Knight Rose said. He had been repeatedly questioned if he was a man. Lu Ming really wanted to yell, do you want to test it? Of course, it was just a thought. What else could Lu Ming say? In the end, he naturally agreed. Then, everyone discussed the steps and details of the plan. After ensuring that it was foolproof, they began to act. After waiting for a few hours, Lu Ming and the Dark Knight Rose used the excuse of checking out the surrounding situation to leave and explore the surroundings. After the two of them searched around, they went in a direction and disappeared into the fog. Lu Ming and Dark Knight Rose came to a dilapidated building dozens of miles away. Let's hope that the culprit will come, Lu Ming said, of course, using voice transmission. Before he finished speaking, a fragrance wafted over. Dark Knight Rose approached and was almost leaning against him. You, what are you doing? Lu Ming asked subconsciously. A handsome man and a beautiful woman. If you want to act, you naturally have to act more realistically. Otherwise, how will the other party believe you? Dark Night Rose said in Lu Ming's ear. Her warm breath blew into Lu Ming's ear. As soon as she finished speaking, Dark Night Rose fell into Lu Ming's arms. Lu Ming suddenly felt a little uneasy. Dark Night Rose's seduction was not just for show. It was top-notch in the universe. You. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. It's enough, Lu Ming said. His voice was a little hoarse. It seems that I misunderstood you before. Now it proves that you are really a man, Dark Night Rose said. Lu Ming was speechless. Coming. Suddenly, Dark Night Rose said two words in Lu Ming's ear. Her body flashed, and she quickly retreated. At the same time, she waved her hand, and the petals of the sky-devouring rose flew out. Lu Ming's reaction was also very fast. He immediately withdrew from his uneasy state and flicked his fingers. Rays of spear light burst out and flew into the surrounding fog. Dang, dang, dang. A series of explosions sounded. Lu Ming and Dark Night Rose's attacks were directly defeated. Then, several terrifying rays of sword light slashed toward the two of them. It was too fast, and its power was astonishing. Second-level Divine Master. As soon as they exchanged blows, the two of them could tell that the person attacking them was definitely a second-level Divine Master expert. The two of them had attacked hastily, so it was normal that they could not block it. However, the two of them had been in a state of alert, ready to attack at any time, so their reaction was also very fast. With a thought, their killing weapons appeared. Lu Ming held the obsidian staff and poured forbidden energy into it. The obsidian staff quickly enlarged and swept out, colliding with a ray of sword light. With a clang, the obsidian staff vibrated, and Lu Ming's figure retreated. On the other side, Dark Night Rose activated her saber and also retreated after exchanging a blow with the other party. However, the two of them had caused a huge commotion and alarmed the others. Something's happening. Let's go take a look. Those experts rushed toward Lu Ming's side. They covered the distance of several dozen miles in an instant. As for the expert in the dark, when he saw that he could not kill Lu Ming and Dark Night Rose in a few moves, he wanted to retreat. However, Lu Ming's side was already prepared. Bam! Lu Ming took a step forward and brilliant rays of light erupted from the ground. Dozens of ancient mystic skills were unleashed. Great sealing art, great binding art. End of chapter. Chapter 4477. Dozens of secret techniques, all of which were secret techniques for trapping the enemy, shot toward the being in the fog. At the same time, Anya Rose took action. In the air, there was a huge sky-devouring rose. In the middle of the flower, there was a black hole that spun continuously and exploded with terrifying devouring power. The devouring power was continuously devouring the being in the fog. The purpose of Double Bind was to slow down the speed of the other party. However, the other party was really strong. With a roar, Sword Chi burst out and broke through Lu Ming's ancient secret skill. He broke through the devouring power of the sky-devouring rose and wanted to leave. However, he was still held back for a while. At that moment, there were suddenly attacks coming from the direction where the other party was escaping. A pitch-black iron rod, a rusty iron sword, and a black lotus. It was Xian Yanqing, Wan Shun, Di Jianyi, and the rest who had taken action. They were prepared. When they heard that Lu Ming, Anya Rose, and the other party were exchanging blows, they did not hesitate and rushed towards Lu Ming and the rest. They were faster than the rest. However, they did not appear immediately. Instead, they changed their position in the fog and appeared in the direction where the other party might have retreated. At the crucial moment, they launched an attack. Xian Yanqing, Wan Shun, Autumn Moon, Di Jianyi, Ling Hong, Yin Juling, Xiao Wuji, and the other three supreme talents. A total of 10 young experts joined forces, and the power was shocking. They successfully blocked the other party's sword light and stopped him from retreating. Chui, it's you. At that moment, Lu Ming and Anya Rose were close to the other party, and they saw the other party's face. The person was Chu Yi, one of the 3 experts in the second level of the Divine Master realm. Little brat, it was you guys who set this up. I'm going to kill you. Chu Yi bellowed. He controlled his voice well, and only Lu Ming and the rest could hear him. However, the fog was tumbling and more people had arrived. They were the other experts. These people saw Chu Yi and Lu Ming and the rest. Everyone, Chu Yi is the one who secretly killed and stole the natal spirit stones. Let's work together and kill him. Lu Ming shouted. It's him. As expected, the murderer is among us. Damn it, kill him. The others were enraged when they heard this. Everyone, don't listen to this little bastard's nonsense. He's slandering us. Actually, the culprits are in cahoots with him, Chu Yi shouted, wanting to bite back. Our group is ridiculous. The strongest cultivator in our group is of the 9th great supreme god layer. How could he kill a cultivator of the 1st divine master layer in one strike? Lu Ming retorted with a sneer. That's hard to say. Everyone knows that you're all peerless geniuses with powerful combat strength. Furthermore, you might be hiding some special techniques. Furthermore, it's precisely because your cultivation is low that others won't guard against you. It's not impossible for them to be killed by you in a single strike. Chu Yi continued to quibble. It had to be said that this old man's ability to quibble was quite impressive. However, Lu Ming was also an expert in this aspect. He had never been afraid of anyone in this aspect. It's useless to say so much. Why don't you open up your storage rings and sea of consciousness and let everyone check? Won't we know who has the fragments of the natal soul primordial stones of those killed? Oh, and the storage rings of those killed seem to have been taken away as well. We can check them all together. Lu Ming said, this is a good suggestion. We'll know who the murderer is once we check. Another expert of the 2nd divine master layer said, I object. Storage rings and sea of consciousness are a cultivator's greatest secrets. How can we let others check them? Chu Yi said coldly. What? Feeling guilty? Lu Ming countered. The others also looked at Chu Yi with unfriendly eyes. What guilty? I object to this suggestion. Since none of you believe me, I'll just leave. Chu Yi said coldly and turned to leave. You still want to leave? You still want to hide in the dark and wait for an opportunity to kill us and steal the fragments of the natal soul primordial stones? Everyone, don't let him leave, or else we'll all be in danger. Lu Ming bellowed. As expected, the others paled, and their bodies flickered as they surrounded Chu Yi. Lu Ming is right. If we don't make things clear today, no one can leave. Today, we must get to the bottom of this. The crowd shouted. The person who had attacked them in the dark was too dangerous. If it really was Chu Yi, they would be in constant danger if they let him go. Thus, even if there was something suspicious about Chu Yi, they could not let him leave. Moreover, Chu Yi was currently the most suspicious. Compared to Lu Ming's group, the crowd was more convinced that Chu Yi was the murderer. After all, he was a genuine 2nd-level divine master. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. At this moment, Chu Yi suddenly laughed loudly. His laughter was somewhat sinister. I originally wanted to deal with all of you one by one, but since all of you insist on seeking death, I'll deal with all of you together. Chu Yi's cold voice echoed through the air. Chu Yi, it really was you. Damn it. Chu Yi, you've got some nerve. If you commit suicide now, we'll leave your corpse intact. The crowd roared, unable to restrain their anger. It turned out that the murderer really was Chu Yi. The crowd stared at Chu Yi with murderous intent. Commit suicide? Ha ha ha, how laughable. Did you think that you could deal with me with just the few of you? Let me tell you, from start to finish, I have never used my full strength. Now, let me show you my true fighting strength. Chu Yi laughed, his aura growing stronger and stronger. Although he had not reached the 3rd level of the Divine Master realm, he was still a peak 2nd-level Divine Master. At the same time, a terrifying sword light shot out of Chu Yi's body. All of you will die. Kill. Chu Yi roared as his sword light trembled. Immediately, dense sword chi swept out in all directions, enveloping everyone with frightening power. Careful, all of you. Retreat. The remaining Divine Master Realm experts shouted and stepped forward. They used their secret techniques to protect the people below the Divine Master Realm. At the same time, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others also launched their own attacks, clashing with the sword chi. Boom, boom. There was a violent explosion. Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Anya rose, and the rest trembled violently and could not help but retreat. Those with weaker fighting strength, such as Qiu Moon and Yin Juling, vomited several mouthfuls of blood. In another direction, of the 4 divine masters, 2 were first-level divine masters, and they screamed as they retreated. Several terrifying wounds had appeared on their bodies, blood gushing out from them. The 2 second-level divine masters fared better, but they were also forced back. Chu Yi, your fighting strength. How is this possible? A second-level divine master roared. End of this chapter. Chapter 4478. Chu Yi's fighting strength had exceeded everyone's expectations. Although Chu Yi's fighting strength had been very strong, it had only been a little stronger than the other 2 second-level godlords. But in the clash just now, Chu Yi's fighting strength was not just a little stronger than the other 2 second-level godlords, it was a whole level higher. Even when so many people worked together, he had still managed to suppress them. Why do you think I was able to obtain the acknowledgement of the Life Soul Origin Stone fragment? This is because when I was young, I was also a peerless genius. If I hadn't encountered a great disaster that slowed down my cultivation, my current cultivation would have been far more than second-tier Divine Lord. I would have long since become a high-level Divine Lord. You people think that you can kill me? Today, I will eliminate all of you. Chu Yi roared, his face turning even more savage, and the sword light on his body grew even stronger. Clang! With the clanging of swords, Chu Yi's body flickered as he swung his sword, unleashing one sword light after another. All of you, fall back! A second-level godlord shouted, ordering those below the godlord level to fall back. He erupted with all his strength, taking out a golden pagoda and thrusting it forward. The other 3 godlord experts also went all out, using their ultimate moves. Lu Ming and the rest also constantly activated their powerful killing weapons and charged toward Chu Yi. As they attacked, Lu Ming shielded Qiu Yu behind him. Amongst the 4 of them, Qiu Yu was the weakest, so Lu Ming could not let Qiu Yu take the risk. In this clash, Lu Ming and the others were still no match. Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Wan Shun, Dark Knight Rose, and the others all retreated, their bodies covered in sword wounds from which blood seeped out. They had been injured by sword chi. They still had their source-level divine weapons to block, so their situation was somewhat better, but the godlords were in dire straits. This was especially true for the 2 first-level godlords. One of them was heavily injured, his body in tatters. As for the other, he had his forehead pierced by sword light and died on the spot. Kill, kill. All of you must die. Especially you, Chu Yi shouted, his cold gaze fixed on Lu Ming and the others, especially the source-grade divine weapons in Lu Ming's hands. Greed flashed in his eyes as he said, "After I kill you, your source-grade divine weapons will all be mine. Ha ha ha." Chu Yi laughed, and the sword light moved. Today, the one who will die will be you. At this moment, a cold voice sounded. It was Dark Knight Rose. Dark Knight Rose had appeared behind Chu Yi at some point. Kill. As for Xian Yinqing, he stood in front of Chu Yi and shouted. His hands formed a seal, and his body emitted a shocking demonic aura. At the same time, Dark Knight Rose was also wrapped in a mysterious energy, which resonated with Xian Yinqing's devil chi. Devil Devour. Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose shouted at the same time and pushed their hands forward. Whoosh, whoosh. The heavens and earth roared, and energy surged. Then, a black lotus appeared under Chu Yi's feet. The huge black lotus emitted a dense demonic light, and a huge flower appeared above Chu Yi's head. It was the sky-devouring rose. The 2 flowers, one above and one below, connected with each other in multicolored light, producing a terrifying energy that instantly enveloped Chu Yi. This energy was like a field that was terrifying and could destroy everything. Chu Yi's body shook violently, and the divine power protecting his body shook violently. It was like ice meeting fire, and it melted quickly. Not only that, but Chu Yi's body, skin, and flesh were also melting. In an instant, Chu Yi's appearance became unbearable to look at. Ah! Chu Yi shouted, and his divine power surged in all directions. He wanted to break through the field around him and break through Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose's joint attack. However, the divine power he unleashed was also melted by this field. Break! 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 Chui roared, and a frenzied sword intent surged out of his body, transforming into sharp sword light that slashed at the sky, devouring Rose. Broom! The sword light clashed with the field, creating terrifying sounds of friction and explosions. Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose began to tremble. What are you standing around for? Hurry up and kill him. We can't hold on much longer. Dark Knight Rose roared. Chuyi's divine power was far above her expectations. Given her and Xian Yinqing's current cultivation, they could kill an ordinary second-level divine lord if they used a joint attack. If the other two second-layer divine masters got caught in their joint attack, they would definitely die. They would be turned into ashes by the terrifying field energy. However, Chu Yi was much stronger than an ordinary second-level divine lord. The two of them could only trap him for a moment, but they couldn't kill him. Attack! Lu Ming roared, activating the mysterious ice staff with all his strength to attack Chu Yi. Myriad God, Emperor Jianyi, and the others also attacked Chu Yi with all their strength. The two second-level Godlord experts seemed to have woken up from a dream and used their strongest moves to attack Chu Yi. At this moment, Chu Yi was trapped and had to use all his strength to resist the terrifying field energy. There was no way he could block their attacks, but if they hit him, they would definitely be able to kill him. You want to kill me? Dream on. Doppelganger, come out. Chu Yi roared, and two figures suddenly charged out of his body. One of the figures was a skeleton that was as white as jade and carried 5 bone swords on its back. White Bone waved its hand, and the 5 bone swords flew out, rapidly growing in size as they charged at Lu Ming's group. The other figure had a head of golden hair. It was a large man from the celestial race. He held a golden sword in his hand and sent out several sword lights at the two second-level Godlord experts. Boom! Clang! 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 The attacks of Lu Ming's group were blocked by the two figures. These bone swords. The one who attacked us earlier was him. The eyes of Lu Ming, Myriad God, and the others flashed. Before encountering Anya Rose's group, Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God had been ambushed. The attacker had used a white bone claw and a bone sword to attack them. Now, it seemed like it was Chu Yi's doing. This skeleton's attack was exactly the same as the one that had ambushed them. In addition, Emperor Jianyi and the others had gloomy expressions because they had also been ambushed by this skeleton. In that celestial race, everyone's gaze turned toward the large man from the celestial race. The large man from the celestial race had his eyes closed, and there was no sign of life on his body. He was clearly a corpse. These were all Chu Yi's doppelganger puppets. The wounds of the people who had been ambushed had traces of heaven's power. It was obvious that Chu Yi had controlled the doppelganger puppets to attack. That was why there were traces of heaven's power in their wounds. He had used this method to bluff his way out and push all the blame to the celestial race. However, this celestial race member was dead, so there was a trace of death chi in his heaven's power. Lu Ming and Anya Rose had detected it. This was something that Chu Yi had not expected. End of chapter. Chapter 4479. It was precisely because Lu Ming and Dark Knight Rose had realized that the celestial race wasn't responsible that they had set up this trap and drawn out Chu Yi. Upon seeing the corpse of the celestial race expert, there was no need for explanation. Everyone understood. Kill. Kill. Lu Ming's group launched a second attack. However, this attack was blocked by Chu Yi's two doppelganger puppets. Although the two doppelganger puppets were injured, Lu Ming and the rest did not manage to break through their defenses for the time being. Chu Yi struggled with all his strength, causing Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose to tremble even more. If this continued, they really wouldn't be able to hold on. Once I come out, it'll be the time of your deaths. Chu Yi roared, his face savage. Dark Knight Rose, Little Qing, use your origin energy to launch your strongest attack. Lu Ming messaged Dark Knight Rose and Xian Yinqing. Okay, the two replied, preparing to use their trump cards. Seniors, if we don't go all out now, When will we? Lu Ming roared at the two second-level godlords. These two second-level godlords were very important, as they were the main offensive force. Without them holding down Chu Yi, they were even less of a match. The two of them hesitated for a moment before nodding, decisive looks on their faces. Boom, boom. The two second-level godlords exploded with powerful energy. This was divine power burning. The two of them were truly putting their lives on the line. At the same time, Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, and Dark Knight Rose began to mobilize their origin energy. Dark Knight Rose had been at the same level as Xian Yinqing, a second-level godlord. Thus, the origin energy she controlled was not any weaker than Xian Yinqing's, so she could also use an attack. Devil Devour. Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose roared as they used their origin energy in this joint attack. With the addition of the origin energy, the power of the joint attack technique increased a little. That terrifying field energy was even stronger. Chu Yi's body trembled, and the sword energy he had unleashed trembled and almost collapsed. Kill! Kill! Lu Ming and the others launched another attack. This time, the two second-layer Divine Master experts burned their divine power and went all out to launch their strongest attacks. The power was astonishing, and Chewie had no choice but to divert even more of his energy to control the celestial race doppelganger puppet to resist the two second-layer Divine Master experts. In that case, the strength of the other skeleton would be slightly weaker. Boom! The attacks of the two second-level godlords clashed with the avatar of the celestial race. After a few loud booms, the heavenly human tribe's doppelganger puppet was sent flying. However, the attacks of the two second-level divine lords were also blocked. Following that, Lu Ming, Wan Shun, and the others' attacks also collided with the puppet. It was like metal clashing against metal, and energy rippled out in all directions. The attacks of Lu Ming and the others also froze. Lu Ming's mysterious ice rod, Wan Shun's black iron rod, and Emperor Jenny's rusty battle sword were all blocked by Skeleton's bone sword. Ha ha ha, you still want to kill me? Seeing the attacks of Lu Ming and the others being blocked, Chewie laughed arrogantly. The desperate attacks of Lu Ming and the others had been blocked by Skeleton. Let's see what else they can use to fight him. At this moment, Origin, Lu Ming inwardly roared. The Origin seed trembled, and the origin energy within it flowed along his arm and into the mysterious ice rod. The mysterious ice rod was an origin-level divine weapon, and the addition of the origin energy was like adding oil to a fire, causing it to explode. Boom! The mysterious ice rod violently shuddered, and a powerful energy erupted from it and struck the bone sword. Kacha! The bone sword shattered, and the mysterious ice rod smashed into Skeleton's body. With a bang, Skeleton's body exploded. The mysterious ice rod did not stop and continued to bombard Chu Yi. Chu Yi's eyes widened in disbelief. He roared, "Damn it! How is this possible? This is the power of origin." He was really shocked, and he also knew that he had underestimated Lu Ming's strength. Lu Ming had been hiding his trump card before. Damn it! At the same time, he wanted to use his strength to resist, but how could Xian Yinqing and Dark Knight Rose let him do as he wished? They tried their best to operate the joint attack technique to suppress Chu Yi. Chu Yi was just about to divert some of his strength to resist Lu Ming's attack, but that terrifying field energy took advantage of it. Chu Yi's body quickly melted, and he was so scared that he hurriedly circulated his strength to resist. However, the mysterious ice rod did not stop and directly smashed down. Boom! The mysterious ice rod solidly smashed onto Chu Yi's body. Chu Yi let out a blood-curdling scream as his body flew out like a meteor and smashed into the ground, creating a large crater. But he did not stop. His body continued to slide backwards, creating a deep ditch on the ground. He kept sliding backward for tens of thousands of meters before stopping. All the bones and muscles in his body had been completely shattered. They were in tatters, and it was unbearable to look at. His head had almost exploded, and cracks had appeared on the universe bridge in his sea of consciousness. With such serious injuries, Chu Yi could no longer fight. This Chu Yi was really strong. When he was young, he was definitely a top genius who could crush people of the same level. Even the heavenly human tribe people of the same level could not compare to him. The second-level divine master heavenly human tribe that Lu Ming had met before definitely did not have such strength. Just like he had said, if it were not for the problem, his cultivation would be much higher than this. Speaking of which, the life spirit essence stone fragment was not something that only outstanding talents would recognize. But in the end, Chu Yi was still defeated by Lu Ming and the others. Chu Yi lay in the large pit, spitting out blood, and his eyes were full of unwillingness and despair. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Everyone's figures flashed, and they surrounded Chu Yi. Chu Yi, you are doomed to death for your sins. Today, we will kill you. A second-level divine master elder said coldly, and his killing intent was thick. If you kill me, how will you divide the life spirit origin stone fragments in my body? The life spirit origin stone fragments are in the storage ring on my finger. Chu Yi roared. These words caused the second-level divine master experts' expressions to change, and their eyes flickered. Yes, after killing Chu Yi, how would they divide the life spirit origin stone fragments in his body? You still want to sow discord at this time? Everyone, we can discuss the life spirit origin stone fragments after we kill Chu Yi, but now we can't fall into his trap. Lu Ming said. The two second-level divine master experts were shocked and came back to their senses. They thought to themselves that they had almost fallen into Chu Yi's trap. If they had fought out of greed, it would only have benefited Chu Yi. If Chu Yi escaped, the consequences would be unimaginable. This little bastard. Chu Yi roared in his heart, wishing that he could cut Lu Ming into pieces. Die. A second-level divine master elder stepped forward, about to attack. Everyone, wait a moment. I have a huge secret, Chu Yi roared. End of chapter. Chapter 4480. Chu Yi roared, causing the second-level divine master to stop in his tracks. Speak. What secret? The second-level divine master coldly demanded. It's the secret of the heavenly court. As long as you don't kill me, I'll tell you, Chu Yi said. Humph. You still want to use this method to survive? Ridiculous. Besides, who knows if the secret you're talking about is true? Lu Ming sneered and said to the others, everyone, I still think it's better to kill this person. Don't fall into his trap. Once you let him go, there will be endless trouble in the future. Damn it. Damn little bastard. Chu Yi roared in his heart. His little scheme had been seen through by Lu Ming time and time again. He really hated Lu Ming to the bone. But there was nothing he could do. Hearing Lu Ming's words, the others revealed killing intent. He could only roar again. I'm telling the truth, absolutely true. It's the secret of the heavenly court. You know about the 3 supreme treasures of the heavenly court, right? I know where one of them is hidden. What? Upon hearing this, not only the others, but even Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Anya Rose, and the others were shocked. The life spirit was the ultimate treasure of the celestial court. This phrase was too tempting. Chu Yi actually knew where one of the supreme treasures of the heavenly court was hidden? Nonsense. Who knows if you're telling the truth or not? This time, it was the second-level divine master who spoke. I can swear on my life origin that it's absolutely true. Also, I have a map of the heavenly court marked with the specific location of the treasure. It's hidden in my sea of consciousness. As long as you promise to spare my life, I can give it to you. Otherwise, I'll just destroy my sea of consciousness. That map is fragile and can be easily destroyed by me. Chu Yi said. Map? Haha, Chu Yi, it's often foggy here, making it difficult to tell directions. We can't even find the right direction. You have a map? This lie is too low-level. Lu Ming sneered. The others' faces also darkened. Indeed, this lie was too low-level. The life spirit heavenly court was too big, and fog would appear every once in a while. It was like a maze. It was a joke that Chu Yi would have a map. You all have just entered, so it's naturally difficult for you to determine the direction. However, I have already been here for 300,000 years. How could I not know? I am extremely familiar with this place. Even in the fog, I will be able to find the right path. Chu Yi said. What? You've been here for 300,000 years? This time, Lu Ming and the others were really shocked. Originally, They thought that Chewie came in with them. They really did not expect that Chewie had already come in. Yes, when I was young, I had a great battle and damaged my foundation, causing my cultivation to progress extremely slowly. I was unwilling to give up, so I spent my whole life studying the life spirit heavenly court. The purpose was to find treasures to achieve a transformation and restore my potential and talent. Finally, 300,000 years ago, I found a clue and entered the life spirit heavenly court. Unfortunately, the ancient land of the life spirit heavenly court cannot be entered by a fragment of the life spirit primordial stone. Only by gathering many fragments of the life spirit meteorite can one enter, especially the place that contains the treasures of the life spirit heavenly court. Many fragments of the life spirit primordial stone are needed. Although I came in early, it was useless. I could only waste time. It wasn't until 3,000 years ago that the heavenly human tribe entered that I became cautious. I hid in the dark and waited for an opportunity to kill a few of them. After that, I waited until now. When you people entered, I knew that my opportunity had come. At this point, Chewie stopped and did not continue, but everyone knew what he was going to say next. It was nothing more than pretending to be a newcomer like them. He would blend in with the crowd, secretly attack, seize the fragments of the life spirit primordial stone, and then go alone to obtain the treasures of the life spirit heavenly court. Chewie's words were indeed self-justifying, but everyone was still skeptical. If you don't believe me, I can swear with my life origin. Immediately, Chewie swore with the origin of life that what he had just said was true. Seeing Chewie swear with his life origin, everyone had to believe him. Unless Chewie did not want to live anymore. But even if he did not want to live, there was no need to use such a method. Now, as long as you swear with your life origin that after I tell you the details of the location, you will spare my life, and I will tell you. I will also give you the map and the fragments of the life spirit primordial stone that I have. Chewie said, "Okay, I promise you." Everyone, what do you think? The second layer divine master old man answered, looking at Lu Ming and the others. Obviously, he was tempted. In fact, he was not the only one. Lu Ming and the others were also tempted. That was the supreme treasure of the heavenly court. In the universe, it was a top treasure, even more precious than the 18 divine weapons. Who would not be tempted? I also agree, Rose said. Needless to say, she was also tempted. I agree. In the end, Lu Ming nodded. Chewie was overjoyed to see everyone agree. Then, Lu Ming and the others all swore with their life origin that they would spare Chewie's life as long as he handed over the life spirit primordial stone and the map. Good, good, good. Chewie was overjoyed, but a savage killing intent flashed in the depths of his eyes. He roared in his heart. As long as he survived this time, he would madly seek revenge after his injuries had healed. He had been here for 300,000 years and could not be more familiar with this place. He could come and go freely in the fog. When the time came, he would take advantage of his familiarity with the terrain to hunt down all these people, especially Lu Ming, Rose, and the others. He would madly seek revenge and make them regret their actions. Now, hand over the map and the life spirit primordial stone fragment. A second-level god Lord Elder barked. Okay, I'll give it to you, Chewie said as his forehead shone, and a jade token flew out. The jade token was about the size of a palm, and one could see that the jade token was covered in fine carvings. The old man at the second-level divine master realm hurriedly grabbed the jade tablet. Everyone's eyes flashed, but they said nothing. The second-level god Lord Elder then poured his divine power into the jade token. The jade token shone, and a map appeared in the air. The map was very detailed, and there was a red dot on it that represented their current location. In addition, there was a yellow dot some distance away. That yellowed is where the supreme treasure of the heavenly court is hidden, Chewie explained. Everyone's eyes burned with fervent light. It seemed like everything Chewie had said was true. As long as they followed the map, they would not get lost even in the fog. It wouldn't be long before they arrived at the location of the treasure. End of this chapter. Chapter 4481. Also, the Life Soul Origin Stone is in the storage ring on my finger. I'm injured and can't touch it, so you can take it, Chewie said. Immediately, many people's eyes lit up. Bang! Bang! Several people stepped forward, wanting to take Chewie's storage ring, but they were all obstructed by each other's energies. Their energies erupted and clashed in the air, none of them willing to back down. The two second-tier God Lord experts in particular were exuding an intense fighting spirit as their energies clashed. Everyone, there are so many of us here that no one can take the Life Soul Origin Stone fragments for themselves. I suggest that we divide them equally. Once we reach the treasury of the supreme treasure of the Heavenly Court, we can take out the Life Soul Origin Stone fragments together and open the treasury. What do you think? Anya Rose suggested. The eyes of the two second-tier God Lord experts flashed. If an ordinary God Emperor dared to speak to them like this, dared to suggest splitting the fragments equally, they would have long since slapped him to death. A God Emperor dared to dream of being on equal footing with a God Lord? However, Anya Rose, Lu Ming, and the others were truly too terrifying and could not be judged by common sense. When they had surrounded Chu Yi, Xian Yanqing and the Dark Knight Rose had used a joint attack. It was so powerful that even they were terrified. They were afraid that if they were trapped, only death awaited them. And Lu Ming's strength was also unimaginable. Earlier, when they were dealing with Chu Yi, Lu Ming had defeated him with a surprise move, breaking through Chu Yi's defenses and capturing him. They were all monstrous geniuses. Although they were divine masters, they had no choice but to suppress their pride in front of these monstrous geniuses. Okay, then we'll listen to Miss Rose. The second-tier God Lord Elder smiled. The other second-tier God Lord expert also had no objections. Since the strongest experts of each group had no objections, the others had no objections either, nor did they dare to. A hint of disappointment appeared in Chu Yi's eyes. He had been hoping that Lu Ming and the others would fight over the Life Soul Origin Stone fragments, but he hadn't expected it to end so easily. Several people worked together to take the storage ring from Chu Yi's hand. After opening it, they found several Life Soul Origin Stone fragments, a total of 5 pieces. The forces represented by the 2 second-stage Divine Masters each got a piece of land. Lu Ming got one, while Dark Knight Rose got the other. The 5th piece was given to the last first-stage Divine Master. Everyone, I've given you first place in the Life Spirit Vitality Stone fragment. Can I leave now? Chewie said. The Divine Lord Realm existences all showed a hint of unwillingness. They really didn't want to let Chewie go, because if Chewie left, it would be very dangerous. However, for the sake of the Heavenly Court's most precious treasure, they had no choice but to swear on their life essence. They had no choice but to let it go now. Let you go? You're too naive. After we let you go, are we going to wait for you to take revenge on us? Lu Ming sneered. He clenched his fist and a long spear condensed in his hand. What? The Divine Lord Realm experts and Chu Yi were all stunned, looking at Lu Ming in shock. Could it be that Lu Ming wanted to break his oath and kill Chewie? Chewie reacted very quickly. He cried out, Lu Ming, what are you doing? Don't forget that you swore on your life essence that you can't kill me. If you kill me, you'll face a calamity and die. Do you want to die with me? Perish together with you? Haha, you're not worthy. Don't you know that reciprocity existences don't fear oaths on life essence? Lu Ming sneered. Cold killing intent erupted from his body, so dense that it seemed to be tangible. Those are reciprocity existences who control origin energy. You're just a God Emperor, Chewie roared. However, his voice stopped abruptly. His eyes widened, and a look of horror appeared in his eyes. Origin energy. The reason why reciprocity experts did not fear oaths on life essence was because of origin energy. However, Lu Ming had also mastered the power of origin. Earlier, Lu Ming had only managed to break through Chu Yi's defenses by erupting with origin energy. However, Chewie was in a hurry to save his life, so he did not think of this. Who would have thought that the other party would be able to use source energy to go against the life source oath when facing some God Emperors? Subconsciously, they ignored it. But it was too late to think of it now. No, don't kill me. You can't break your oath, Chewie cried out in horror. He did not want to die. He had already found the life spirit heavenly court. As long as he killed Lu Ming and the others and obtained enough life spirit origin stone fragments, he might have a chance to recover his talent and potential and reach a higher realm. Therefore, he struggled frantically. Unfortunately, his injuries were very serious. Even if he had recovered a little, he could only barely move his body. "Chu-yi, go well," Lu Ming said coldly as he stabbed out with his spear. Puff. The spear directly pierced through Chu-yi's forehead, killing him there. Chu-yi's eyes widened. He was unwilling to accept this. Good. The others shouted in their hearts. They did not dare to kill Chu-yi. Lu Ming had killed him. If they let Chu-yi go, they would not be able to sleep and eat in peace. As for whether Lu Ming could really resist the backlash of the Oath on Life Essence, they were too lazy to care. It would be best if Lu Ming died from the backlash. "Young master, is it really okay for you to kill him like this?" Chiu Yu hurriedly asked, her small face full of nervousness and worry. "Lu Ming, can your origin energy withstand it?" Xian Yinqing also asked, also a little worried. She also used origin energy, but the amount was very small. She felt that she could not withstand the backlash of the Oath on Life Essence. She was a little worried about whether Lu Ming could withstand it. "Don't worry, the backlash of the Oath on Life Essence will not happen now. It will happen later in the cultivation. I am confident that I can withstand it," Lu Ming said with a smile. The amount of origin energy he controlled was not small. Although it was definitely not comparable to the existence of the origin realm, it should be able to withstand the backlash of the Oath on Life Essence. Moreover, he had a forbidden body and controlled forbidden energy. Fei Huang once told him that forbidden energy also had a strong effect in resisting the backlash of the Oath on Life Essence. With the combination of the two, Lu Ming was confident and confident. Otherwise, he would not take the risk so easily. "Everyone, let's go," Lu Ming said. Then, everyone set off. According to the map left by Chu-yi, they headed in the direction of the treasure of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. With the map, their speed was very fast. At the same time, they did not encounter any more attacks. However, according to the map, the treasure was not far from them. In fact, it was a long way away. They were in the south of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court, and the treasure was in the north. They had to cross almost half of the ancient city of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. Along the way, everyone had their own thoughts. They were all thinking about a problem. How would they divide the treasure after obtaining it? End of this chapter. Chapter 4482. There was only one treasure, so how could they split it? There were 7 or 8 groups of people here, and all of them wanted the treasure. Who should the treasure go to? Everyone's eyes flashed, each with their own thoughts. The 2 second-level divine lords even had killing intent in their eyes, but they quickly hid it. They really wanted to kill everyone else and take the treasure for themselves. However, when they thought about the strength of Lu Ming's group, they were extremely afraid. They didn't want to be killed by Lu Ming's group before they could kill Lu Ming's group. In truth, they weren't the only ones with such thoughts. Lu Ming, Dark Knight Rose, and the others also had such thoughts. They also wanted to kill everyone here. However, the other side had 2 second-level divine lords and 1 first-level divine lord. They wouldn't be so easy to deal with. As long as Xian Yinqing and the Dark Knight Rose's combined attack enveloped a second-layer divine master, only death would await them. However, there was still a second-level divine lord. Even if he recovered his origin energy and used all his strength, he still wouldn't be able to keep them here. If a few of them managed to escape with the Life Soul Origin Stone fragments, they wouldn't be able to gather enough Life Soul Origin Stone fragments. Even if they reached the treasury, it would be useless. Moreover, the other side was very wary of them. It wouldn't be easy to suddenly attack and kill one of them. In addition, they were only cooperating with Dark Knight Rose and weren't on the same side. Thus, they didn't attack. Everyone had their own misgivings and were wary of each other as they headed toward their destination. However, Lu Ming's group didn't know that their destination had long since been occupied by someone else, the celestial race. On the empty ground, there were many tall bronze statues. These bronze statues all looked like warriors. They were clad in armor and wielded swords. Each statue was tens of thousands of feet tall. There were 108 bronze statues on this plain. They were arranged in a strange pattern, forming an array. In the center of the bronze statue, there was a tall altar. 12 divine weapons floated around the altar. These 12 divine weapons were of different shapes and sizes. None of them were the same. Spear, sword, halberd, axe, battle axe, hook, fork, whip, truncheon, hammer, dagger, and saber. There were a total of 12 types. Each of them exuded a terrifying aura that resonated with the surrounding 108 bronze statues, increasing the power of the formation. A group of people was floating in the air of this region. There were about 30 of them. 12 of them had shocking auras, and they were all divine masters. Moreover, they were not ordinary divine masters. Their auras were much stronger than a first or second layer divine master. These were all existences at the third level of the divine master realm or higher. The one in the center was even more terrifying. His aura was shocking, causing the void to tremble, forming an incomparably terrifying pressure. If Lu Ming were here, he would definitely be shocked because this was an existence on the level of the Lord of Heaven. Only the strongest of the divine masters could be called the Lord of Heaven. Every Lord of Heaven was extremely powerful. Who would have thought that there would be a Lord of Heaven here? With the Lord of Heaven at the center, the 12 experts laid down a massive array. Powerful energy poured down as if they were trying to destroy the formation below and refine something. The 108 bronze statues and 12 divine weapons below had already dimmed. It seemed like they wouldn't be able to last much longer. Hunming, accept your fate. Even if you summon 12 divine weapons, it's useless. At most, you'll be able to struggle at death's door for a little longer. Sooner or later, we'll break through it. A man on the side coldly said. This man looked very young, only in his 20s, but his aura was astonishing. He was also a divine master. One naturally couldn't judge a person's age based on their appearance. Although he looked to be in his 20s, he was actually very old. At the very least, he wasn't a member of the younger generation. This was because no one in the younger generation had never been to the Grand Supreme Immortal City and had such a high cultivation. This person was speaking to the altar, as if the Hunming he spoke of was within the altar. However, there was no response from the altar. Hunming, 4 of the 18 divine weapons are in the hands of the Heavenly Palace. If the 18 divine weapons aren't complete, they won't be able to stop us. Also, if you want to summon the Vitality Stone fragments and reform them to strengthen yourself, you can stop dreaming. I've already sent people to hunt down those who control the fragments. Now, half of the fragments are in my hands, so your fate is sealed. Hunming, you're the master of the Heavenly Palace. You've been struggling at death's door for so long, but in the end, you still have to strengthen me. I'll extract the remaining half of the taboo body from you and complete my taboo body. I, Yiwu, will be the first heavenly human to completely control the taboo body. The young man shouted. It turned out that this person was the Lord Yiwu that the heavenly humans had mentioned. How dare a heavenly human try to control the taboo power? How naive. You'll reap what you sow. This time around, a rough voice sounded from the altar. Merely, it sounded very weak. Ha ha ha, nothing is impossible. I've already completely controlled half of the taboo power, and my combat strength has increased tremendously. Once I extract the other half from you, I'll be able to completely control it. At that time, I'll use both the supreme heavenly power and the taboo power at the same time. Who in the world will be my match? I'll be invincible against those of the same level, and I'll surpass the strongest person in the history of the heavenly human tribe. Ha ha ha. Yiwu laughed. His face was ferocious, and his eyes were burning with anticipation. This time, there was no response from the altar. Humph, Hunming, despair. Yiwu snorted. At this time, someone flew toward them. It was a second-level divine master, heavenly human elder. You guys, how is it? Have you killed all the remaining people? Yiwu asked. Lord Yiwu, please forgive us. The second-level divine master, heavenly human elder cupped his fists, fear written all over his face. Yiwu frowned, and a murderous aura emanated from him. Speak. What happened? Lord Yiwu, the heavenly court is too big. and we're severely understaffed. Moreover, it's difficult to capture them during the fog. We don't know where the rest of the people have gone. So, the second-level Divine Master Heavenly Human Elder stammered. Trash. What a bunch of trash. Yiwu shouted. The second-level Divine Master Heavenly Human Elder lowered his head, not daring to reply. If it weren't for the fact that I couldn't leave, I would have gone there myself. Go, continue the search. You must kill all of them, and bring me the fragments of the Primordial Stone of Fate. The complete Primordial Stone of Fate will be my treasure. Yiwu ordered. Yes, I'll do my best. Don't do your best. You must complete it. Yiwu's face darkened. The other party hurriedly replied and left. End of chapter. Chapter 4483. With the map and no one ambushing them, Lu Ming and the others moved much faster. When the fog dissipated, they moved even faster. They flew at full speed according to the map. In just 7 days, they were close to the hiding place of the Life Soul Heavenly Court's supreme treasure. At this time, the atmosphere became even more tense. Everyone wanted the supreme treasure, so they were hostile to each other. Therefore, they kept a distance from each other for fear of being ambushed by others. We're almost there. Everyone, why don't we discuss how to split the treasure after we find it? A second-layer Divine Master expert said. Of course, it's based on our strength. Lu Ming said. Okay, then it's based on our strength. The second-layer Divine Master expert said. This was the law of the cultivation world. If they couldn't work together to split the treasure, they could only rely on their strength. The others had no objections. According to the map, we'll reach a plain after flying over this mountain. We'll be there soon, another second-layer Divine Master Elder said. This person had been holding the map all this time. Everyone's hearts were in their mouths. They used their movement techniques and flew over the top of the mountain. In the next moment, everyone stopped abruptly. Their eyes widened as they stared in front of them. Then, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. They naturally saw the heavenly human experts, the altar, and the formation below. Lu Ming and the others were dumbfounded. They didn't expect the heavenly human tribe to be here. Shouldn't the heavenly human tribe be in the east? Ha ha ha, I've searched high and low, only to find it by chance. These people actually delivered themselves to me. Take them down. Yiwu laughed loudly. With a wave of his hand, 2 heavenly human elders stepped forward and rushed toward Lu Ming and the others. These 2 elders didn't participate in the formation, so their cultivation wasn't too high. They were only second-layer Divine Masters, but they were also very terrifying. They pressed toward Lu Ming and the others like 2 stars. Oh no, we've been tricked. Let's go. Lu Ming roared, his power bursting forth as he pulled Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God back. Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God also reacted and quickly retreated. Dark Night rose, and the others reacted very quickly. Just as Lu Ming and the others retreated, they also retreated. The other groups of people reacted a little slower, and by the time they were about to retreat, the 2 second-tier Divine Masters of the Celestial race had already closed in. A long spear and a battle sword, both formed from the most powerful heavenly force, slaughtered towards the crowd. The power was extremely shocking. Block it! The 2 second-layer Divine Master Realm existences shouted angrily. They erupted with their full strength and blasted out a blow. However, they were no match for the Celestial race's experts. After exchanging a blow, they coughed up blood and retreated. The 2 second-layer Divine Masters of the Heavenly Human Tribe didn't stop their attacks. Screams filled the air as the only remaining first-layer Divine Lord was killed. In addition, a few other young prodigies were also killed. Their storage rings fell into the hands of the Celestial race. Among them was the Peerless Genius ranked 5th on the Universe Prodigy list, Baao. He was also killed in a single blow. Let's go. After the 2 second-layer Divine Masters were injured, they turned around and left. They didn't dare to linger. The 2 of you, go after those 2 Divine Masters. Leave those little fellows to me. Yiwu's voice rang out as he charged forward, chasing after Lu Ming and the others. His speed was extremely shocking. After a few flashes, The distance between him and Lu Ming and the others was rapidly closing. Boom! He punched out, and a blazing fist energy blasted toward Lu Ming and the others. The violent power caused Lu Ming and the group's expressions to change drastically. Third layer Divine Master. The moment Yi Wu attacked, Lu Ming and the others sensed that Yi Wu's cultivation was at the third layer Divine Master realm. Moreover, he wasn't an ordinary third layer Divine Master. The fist energy was like a blazing sun. It was formed by countless lightning bolts. This was the power of heaven's punishment. In an instant, it enveloped Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shun, Dark Night Rose, Di Jianyi, and the others. Buzz! Lu Ming shouted as he used the obsidian staff. He unleashed his full strength and attacked the fist energy. At the same time, Xian Yinqing, Dark Night Rose, and the others all attacked. They knew that if they couldn't block it, they would all die. Now, they were intimately interdependent. With so many people attacking at the same time, all kinds of powerful weapons bombarded the blazing fist energy, causing a series of earth-shattering explosions. Then, these powerful weapons vibrated violently and were sent flying. Lu Ming and the others retreated like kites with broken strings and fell to the ground. They all suffered different degrees of injuries. What a powerful force! Lu Ming's eyes were solemn. This person's combat power was too strong. Although he was only a third-layer Divine Master, his strength was definitely much stronger than an ordinary third-layer Divine Master. When this person was young, he must have been a top genius. However, at this moment, Yi Wu's eyes were fixed on Lu Ming. Forbidden power. You have mastered the forbidden power. Good, very good. As long as I can suppress you and send you back to the heavenly palace, it will be a great achievement. Yi Wu laughed as he put his hands behind his back and stepped forward. He looked as if he was invincible. He was very conceited. However, with his strength, he had the right to be conceited when facing Lu Ming and the others. Attack! At this moment, Xian Yinqing and Dark Night Rose shouted as they moved at the same time. They flashed out and quickly formed seals with their hands. Combined attack technique, explode. The next moment, a huge black lotus appeared under Yi Wu's feet. On top of his head, a sky-devouring rose appeared. The two flowers, one above the other, released a terrifying burst of field energy that enveloped Yi Wu. At the same time, Xian Yinqing and Dark Night Rose circulated the origin energy in their bodies. Although they had used it the last time, it had been many days since then. The origin energy in the seed of origin had long been restored. Sizzle! The field energy made Yi Wu's body tremble slightly. Even his protective heavenly energy was trembling. Combined attack technique. Interesting. No, this is the origin energy. Yi Wu's face suddenly changed. He was shocked. He could feel the origin energy in the terrifying field energy. Xian Yinqing and Dark Night Rose were only 9th-layer divine gods, but they had mastered the origin energy. This made Yi Wu very surprised and curious. At this moment, Lu Ming also made his move. He also released the origin energy and merged it with the forbidden power into the obsidian staff. He activated the obsidian staff with all his might and attacked Yi Wu. Boom! The attack went through the field energy and hit Yi Wu's face. This is also the origin energy. Yi Wu's eyes were shining. There was greed, passion, and surprise in his eyes. However, he didn't stop there. He threw a punch. When he punched out, a terrifying power erupted from his body. This power was not the power of the heavens. It was the forbidden power. End of chapter. Chapter 4484. Clang. Yi Wu threw out a punch and hit the Bingxian staff. Instantly, Lu Ming felt an indestructible and overwhelming force rushing toward him from the Bingxian rod. His body could not help but retreat as he coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. His arm was almost shattered by the powerful force. It was covered with cracks and blood was flowing out. Forbidden power? This is the forbidden power. Lu Ming was shocked. He was all too familiar with taboo powers. Once Yi Wu used it, Lu Ming could sense that this was taboo power. At the same time, Xian Yinqing, Anya Rose, and the others were also shocked. They stared at Yi Wu. How could a member of the heavenly human tribe control the forbidden power? It was unbelievable. Legend had it that the forbidden power was the natural enemy of the heavenly human tribe. The forbidden body was the natural enemy of the heavenly human tribe. How could a member of the heavenly human tribe control the forbidden power? No, it's an incomplete forbidden power. It's not complete. There's only half of it. It might have been extracted from someone else. Lu Ming shouted. He remembered that when he was captured, the heavenly human tribe wanted to extract the forbidden power from him. Perhaps the forbidden power controlled by the heavenly human tribe was extracted from other forbidden bodies. That was why there was only half of it. A forbidden power and origin in advance. Good, very good. It's a great achievement to capture someone like you. Suppress, Yiwu shouted. The energy in his body erupted like a volcano. This time, he used his full strength. His terrifying power directly destroyed Xian Yinqing and Dark Night Rose's combined attack. The two of them spat out blood and flew back, crashing to the ground. Then, Yiwu stretched out his hand. A huge palm formed and grabbed at Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Anya Rose, and the others. He wanted to suppress Lu Ming and the others with a single move. Yiwu was too powerful. His cultivation was at the 3rd level of the Divine Master Realm, which was far beyond what Lu Ming and the others could handle. Coupled with his terrifying combat strength, he was much stronger than Lu Ming and the others. He didn't use his full strength when he attacked Lu Ming and the others. Otherwise, he could have killed Lu Ming and the others in an instant. At this moment, he stretched out his palm. The huge palm covered the sky like a small world. The terrifying energy suppressed Lu Ming and the others and made them unable to move, let alone fight back. We still fell into Chuyi's trap, Lu Ming sighed in his heart. At this moment, he knew that Chuyi had tricked them. What Chuyi said sounded true. He said that there was a supreme treasure of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court here, and that it needed many pieces of the Life Spirit Origin Stone to open it. He also said that his map was true. Otherwise, Chuyi would not have dared to swear on his life origin. However, he had hidden the most important piece of information. That was, this place had long been occupied by the heavenly human tribe. Even if Chuyi had obtained many life origin stone fragments, he wouldn't have dared to come here. He told Lu Ming and the others about this place so that Lu Ming and the others could come here and die. Lu Ming and the others didn't understand at that time, but it was too late now. But at this moment, a sudden change occurred. Down below, on the ground, the altar that had been motionless suddenly shone brightly, and a burst of energy rushed toward Yiwu. Yiwu was shocked and quickly retreated. However, the target of this force wasn't Yiwu, but Lu Ming and the others. With a bang, the giant palm formed by Yiwu was crushed by this force. Then, this force enveloped Lu Ming and the others. This force was like a strong suction force, trying to suck Lu Ming and the others into the altar. Don't resist. I'm saving you. A rough voice sounded in the ears of Lu Ming and the others. Lu Ming and the others were moved. They didn't resist at all and let the force pull them toward the altar. Although they didn't know who the other party was and whether they had any ill intentions, they had no choice now. If they were outside, they would definitely be suppressed or even killed by the heavenly human tribe. If they followed this force, they might have a chance. Soul destiny. Yiwu roared, his anger soaring to the sky. Stop him. Yiwu continued to shout. The 12 people who set up the array shouted at the same time and shot out a divine light to cut off the force from the altar. However, the altar shone and rushed out another force to attack the divine light. Boom! An earth-shattering rumble resounded, and energy overflowed in all directions. The entire area was covered by a sky full of multicolored light. Bang! 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 The bronze statues kept exploding. 18 of them exploded in a row. In the end, they managed to block the force from the heavenly human tribe. There seemed to be a vortex on the altar, and the suction force suddenly increased. Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shun, Dark Night Rose, Di Jiani, Ling Hong, Yin Juling, Shou Wuji, and 3 other young men and women flew into the altar and disappeared. D******** minute. Yiwu roared in anger. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 2 figures flew over. They were the 2 heavenly human tribe elders who were at 2nd level Divine Master Realm. They had gone to kill the other two heavenly human tribe elders and had returned. Have you killed them? Yiwu asked coldly as he let out a breath and calmed down. Yes, they have been killed. Here are the fragments of the Soul Destiny Stone. One of the elders replied as he passed 2 storage rings to Yiwu. Yiwu took the 2 storage rings and scanned them with his spiritual consciousness. He looked much better. Humph. Hunming, you can't even save yourself. You want to save them? What a joke. You destroyed 18 bronze statues to save them. Let's see how long you can resist us. Once the formation is broken, none of you will live. Yiwu stood in the air and said to the altar. The people on the altar ignored Yiwu. At this moment, there was a group of people staring at each other on the altar, sizing up their surroundings. The inside of the altar was very spacious and large. It was like an underground space. There was also an altar here. The altar was made of divine jade, and it was covered with runes. There were also runes on the ground around the altar. These symbols shone and interweaved together to form a formation. Waves of mysterious aura were condensed from it. A figure was sitting cross-legged in the middle of the altar. The figure was in the shape of a human. He was tall and burly, but he looked miserable. He was so thin that he was just skin and bones. His eye sockets were sunken in. Occasionally, a few rays of light would flicker in them, proving that he was still alive. There was a layer of strange flames on the surface of this person's body. The flames were constantly jumping about, burning at all times. Lu Ming and the others looked at the figure carefully. It was obvious that he was the one who had brought them into the altar. Thank you for your help, Senior. Thank you for your help, Senior. Lu Ming and the others cupped their fists in gratitude. End of chapter. Chapter 4485. You don't have to be polite. I just don't want to see you die in the hands of the heavenly human tribe. You are all talented and have endless potential. It would be a pity to die in the hands of the heavenly human tribe. The withered figure sitting on the altar spoke. His voice was rough, just like what they had heard before, but his aura was weak. Senior, how should I address you? Lu Ming cupped his fists and asked. You heard that heavenly human brat call me, right? My name is Hunming. The withered figure said. Hunming? Everyone was confused. They had never heard of it before. You may not have heard of my name, but you should have heard of my other title. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, the withered voice continued. Everyone pricked up their ears to listen. This person must have a shocking background. That was their guess. They could tell by looking at the layout of the area. There were 108 bronze statues surrounding the altar. There were also 12 powerful divine weapons around the altar. The divine weapons gave off a shocking aura. Lu Ming and Anye Rose felt a sense of familiarity. Those were the 18 divine weapons of the palaces. Thinking up to this point, the two of them became even more bewildered as their imaginations ran wild. Hunming's voice continued. Back then, all the races in the primitive universe called me the master of the heavenly court. Rumble. It was like a clap of thunder in everyone's mind. Everyone's eyes widened as they stared at the withered figure in shock. Shock and disbelief were in their eyes. It was shocking. It was really shocking. They had heard of the master of the heavenly court. His full name was the master of the life spirit heavenly court. This person was actually the master of the life spirit heavenly court, known as one of the most powerful taboos in history. Legend had it that the master of the life spirit heavenly court died with the destruction of the life spirit heavenly court. He was still alive? This was a truly legendary figure with an incomparably long history, even before the primordial divine court. Back then, the master of the life spirit heavenly court had created the life spirit heavenly court with his own strength. In the end, he developed the life spirit heavenly court to fight against the heavenly palace. Although they were defeated in the end, the heavenly palace, which was at its peak, suffered a great loss. After the battle with the life spirit heavenly court, the heavenly palace began to decline from its peak. Only then did the archaic divine court rise. This legendary figure had appeared before them just like that. However, his appearance was a bit too miserable. After a while, Lu Ming and the others came back to their senses. Senior, didn't you die in battle back then? What was going on now? Are those heavenly humans outside trying to deal with you? Also, why does the heavenly human tribe member outside possess half a wisp of forbidden power? Lu Ming asked several questions. Everyone revealed curious expressions because these were the same questions in their hearts. This little fellow has so many questions. The voice of the life spirit, the owner of the heavenly courts, sounded, making Lu Ming feel a little awkward. However, he still looked at the other party, hoping that the other party could answer his question. First, I'll answer your last question. The heavenly human outside is called Yi Wu. The half-taboo power in him is mine, Hunming said. It turned out that this person was the Lord Yi Wu that the heavenly human tribe members had talked about. What was even more surprising was that the half-taboo power in Yi Wu's body actually belonged to the life spirit heavenly court's master. Back then, the life spirit heavenly court was defeated and I was severely injured. A few old fellows of the heavenly human tribe wanted to extract the taboo power from me. In the end, they extracted half of it. However, I managed to escape in the end and escaped with the life spirit heavenly court to hide in the ruins of the universe. I didn't expect that after so many years, they would still find me. Yi Wu's purpose was to extract half of the taboo power from me and merge it into one to form a complete taboo power. The life spirit heavenly court's master briefly explained. Although it was very simple and understated, it was very difficult to explain. However, everyone could imagine that the battle back then must have been extremely tragic. The process of his escape must have been extremely difficult. Senior, after so many years, you still haven't recovered? Lu Ming asked again. After knowing Hunming's identity, Lu Ming could not help but feel a lot closer to him. Perhaps it had something to do with the fact that they both had taboo bodies. Therefore, he became bolder and asked whatever questions he had. In front of an overlord like Hunming, the others were a little reserved. Even Xian Yinqing and Anya Rose were the same. Although they were reincarnated, even in their previous lives, they were still children in front of Hunming. They were the juniors of the juniors. Difficult, difficult, difficult. Hunming sighed and said the word difficult 3 times. In the battle back then, my injuries were too severe. Of course, that was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that half of my taboo power was extracted and I was struck by the heavenly human tribe's 3rd-generation soul fire. It's the same kind of fire that's on my body. The 3rd-generation soul fire is difficult to extinguish. It's said to be able to stay with me for 3 lifetimes and constantly erode my soul, essence, and spirit. Even after the new year, it was difficult for me to recover. Hunming said. Everyone's hearts trembled slightly. The 3rd-generation soul fire? There was actually such a terrifying fire in the world that could stay with him for 3 lifetimes and could not be extinguished. It was the same even for someone as powerful as Hunming. For countless years, he had to endure the pain of the 3rd-generation soul fire without being able to recover his strength. Just thinking about it made one shudder. This is also because of the confidence of Yi Wu and the others. Otherwise, I would be able to crush these heavenly humans outside with a finger as long as I recover some of my strength, Hunming said. A glint flashed in Hunming's sunken eyes. Everyone felt as if they were looking at that invincible powerhouse again. Senior, how should we get out of here? Lu Ming asked. It's difficult to get out of here. Hunming sighed. Everyone's heart sank. Even Hunming said that it would be difficult to get out. Were they really going to be trapped here until they died? Now, I'm using my remaining strength to control the array formation outside to resist. However, the other party has set up a great array formation, and there's even a heavenly monarch leading it. He's constantly breaking the array formation. Although I've summoned the 12 Palace Garrison divine weapons, they're not complete. They won't be able to resist for long, Hunming said. We have 2 Guardian divine weapons here. I don't know if they'll be useful, Lu Ming said. It's useless. Even with the 2 of you, we only have 14 of them. The 18 Hall Garrison divine weapons are incomplete, so they won't be of much use. The remaining ones should be sealed in the Celestial Palace, so I can't summon them. Hunming shook his head and continued, originally, I wanted to summon the fragments of my life spirit stone to form a complete life spirit stone. The life spirit stone can provide me with great strength and allow me to resist the other party for a while. However, most of the fragments have been intercepted by the other party. Book House Reading Website. Chapter 4486. According to the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master, he had wanted to summon the fragments of the Life Spirit Primordial Stone to form a complete Life Spirit Primordial Stone. Unfortunately, the Heavenly Human Clan had intercepted most of it. Even though Lu Ming had brought a few pieces with him, they weren't useful. Lu Ming and the others finally understood why the Life Spirit Primordial Stone had acted strangely all of a sudden. It was because the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master had summoned it. The people of the Heavenly Human Tribe set up a formation to destroy the formation protecting me. It has already been 3,000 years. My strength is constantly weakening. If this continues, I estimate that they will break through the protective formation in at most 3 years. With my current strength, I am definitely not their match. Now, if you want to leave safely, there's only one way, said the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. What way? Everybody's eyes lit up. It's up to you. The Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master opened his turbid eyes and looked at Lu Ming. If it's up to me, I only have the strength of the 9th Great Supreme God Layer. I'm afraid I won't be of much use, said Lu Ming. No, you'll be of great use. More precisely, your forbidden strength will be of great use, said the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. After a short pause, he continued, you have a forbidden body, so you have complete forbidden strength. As for me, I have a forbidden body too. I can lend you my strength and fuse it with your forbidden strength. That way, you'll be able to explode with incredible strength. It won't be difficult for you to defeat the Heavenly Human Clan's people outside. Lend me your strength? How? Asked Lu Ming. Let me enter your body and fuse with your strength. Half of my forbidden strength can fuse with half of your forbidden strength. That way, I'll be able to recover some of my strength, said the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. Let you enter my body. Lu Ming's expression changed drastically. At the same time, Xian Yinqing, Qiu Moon, and Wan Shun's expressions changed drastically. Letting someone else enter one's body was extremely dangerous. Especially someone like the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master, it was even more dangerous. Besides, he looked miserable. He had been tortured by the 3-world soul fire for countless years. He looked like a lamp that was about to run out of oil. If he entered Lu Ming's master's body, would he have any evil intentions? Possession? Lin Fan had to be on guard. After all, it was impossible to judge a book by its cover. Moreover, they had only just met. Lu Ming, don't accept him. Young Master, Heavenly Quartz Master's Heavenly Quartz Master's Master. Comms Master Heavenly Court Spirit Heavenly Court. Heavenly Human Heavenly Court Master. Heavenly Human Heavenly Human Body. Had Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master? Heaven's Heavenly Quartz Master Heavenly Quartz. Heavenly Human Heavenly Court Spirit Spirit Heavenly Court. Said King have Heavenly Court. It. The Life Spirit Heavenly Court Spirit shook his head. No matter what I say, no matter how nice it sounds, you will still have concerns. After all, we are not familiar with each other. Moreover, the oath of life origin is ineffective on me. So, even if I swear, you will not believe me. Lu Ming did not say anything. Indeed, he would not believe the master's words. He would still have concerns. It's up to you to choose. If you choose to believe me, you can live. If you don't, we will die together when the protective array is broken. Everyone was silent. Dark Night rose, and the others naturally hoped that Lu Ming would agree. That way, whether Lu Ming would be possessed or not, they would have a chance to live. However, they could not persuade Lu Ming. Moreover, you don't have much time to consider. I can at most resist for 3 more years. However, it's impossible for you to have 3 years to consider. Even if you agree to let me enter your body and fuse with the taboo power temporarily, with your current cultivation, you still don't have the qualifications. Only when your cultivation reaches the Divine Master realm will you have the right to do so. Otherwise, you will explode and die before your power can fuse. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the heavenly court, said, "It requires the cultivation of the divine master realm. That's impossible in 3 years." Lu Ming sighed and nodded slightly. The others also shook their heads and sighed. 3 years was too short. Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Dark Knight Rose, and the others who had the strength of the top of the 9th Great Supreme God layer couldn't break through in 3 years. How could Lu Ming break through to the Divine Master Realm in 3 years? And Lu Ming knew that it was unlikely. Up until now, he still hadn't found the direction to break through to the Divine Master Realm. It was as if there was a dense fog in front of him, and he didn't know where to go. Obviously, his accumulation was far from enough. Not to mention 3 years, under normal circumstances, even 300, 3,000, or even 30,000 years would be impossible. Under normal circumstances, it would be impossible. However, with my help, it might not be impossible. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This was the Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court. It was the oldest and strongest forbidden body in history. Perhaps it really could help him break through to the Divine Master Realm in 3 years. Originally, even with my help, I wouldn't have been able to help you break through to the Divine Master Realm in 3 years. However, you have the Origin Seed. This is a great shortcut that can save you a lot of time. I really didn't expect that you would be able to condense an Origin Seed at such a young age. You must have had some heaven-defying opportunity, right? The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, swept its gaze over Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, Myriad God, Dark Knight Rose, and the others. That's right. We only managed to condense the Origin Seed by chance. However, how will the Origin Seed help us break through to the Divine Master Realm? Lu Ming asked humbly. It will be of great help. For those who cultivate divine power, if they want to break through from the Divine Emperor Realm to the Divine Master Realm, they need to cultivate a universe bridge in the black hole in their body. The universe bridge will extend to the depths of the black hole. The ultimate goal of the universe bridge is to connect to the universe C so that they can comprehend the universe origin energy. However, where is the universe C? There is no direction. Ordinary people only know how to cultivate the universe bridge and extend it to the depths of the black hole until they reach the 9th level of the Divine Emperor Realm. Only then can they find the direction. However, you are different. You already have the Origin Seed and can sense the universe C. It's like there are 2 points in space. As long as you connect the 2 points, you will be able to find a clear direction. You just need to keep going in this direction. Therefore, once you cultivate to the Divine Master Realm, your progress will be many times faster than ordinary people. Ordinary people need to cultivate and comprehend at the same time to find the direction. However, you have already set the direction. As long as you keep accumulating energy, you can continue to improve. Do you understand this explanation? The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Lu Ming and the others' eyes lit up. They felt enlightened. They had heard that condensing the Origin Seed would be of great help to the cultivation of the Divine Master Realm. However, Lu Ming did not understand what kind of help it would provide. Now, after the Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court's explanation, he suddenly understood. End of chapter. Chapter 4487. In fact, the black hole in a cultivator's body is equivalent to a door that leads to the universe C. Anyone who wants to break through to the Divine Master Realm needs this door. The Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court continued to explain. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly at these words. Senior, I have no door. How can I break through? Lu Ming asked. Cultivating the taboo power was completely different from ordinary cultivators. There was no black hole in his body, which meant that there was no door. How could he connect to the universe C? So, if there is no door, you have to create one. The Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court said, there are 2 main obstacles for a taboo body to break through to the Divine Master Realm. First, you have to create a door. Second, there will be many restrictions when breaking through to the next realm. You need to be extremely strong to break through the restrictions. You have to create your own secret skill. Create your own secret skill? When I broke through to the God Emperor realm, I created a secret skill. I wonder if it can be used? Lu Ming asked. Upon hearing this, Anya Rose, Di Jianni, and the rest looked at Lu Ming in shock. Lu Ming could create his own secret skill? This was absolutely shocking. Lu Ming was more terrifying than they had imagined. What? When you broke through to the God Emperor realm, you wanted to create your own secret skill. You even succeeded? This time, even the life spirit master of Heavenly Court was shocked. Cough cough, yes. Lu Ming coughed dryly. Young man, how many secret skills have you mastered? It seems that there are some incredible people in the universe over the years. The life spirit master of Heavenly Court exclaimed. In the era when the life spirit was the master of the Heavenly Court, there were no ancient secret skills in the universe. There were only some ordinary secret skills. Therefore, he did not expect that Lu Ming would create his own secret skill after breaking through from the Divine Emperor realm to the Divine Arch realm. The main reason was that Lu Ming had mastered too many ancient secret skills, so there were many restrictions. After a while, the life spirit master of Heavenly Court reacted and said, "No, the secret skill that you created when you were at the God Emperor realm can only help you break through to the God Emperor realm. If you want to break through to the Divine Master realm, you have to create your own secret skill." He wants to create his own secret technique within 3 years? Lu Ming was bewildered. This was simply impossible. It was too difficult. It had taken him several hundred years to create the heaven-crushing art, and he had only succeeded on the Bodhi tree stump in the Grand Supreme Immortal City. Now, he had no idea how to create the second style of the secret skill. It was almost impossible for him to succeed in creating it in 3 years. Under normal circumstances, it would be impossible. However, with my help, it is possible. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Although the Master of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court had personally made this promise, Lu Ming still found it hard to believe. Wang. Suddenly, the altar below the Life Spirit of the Lord of the Heavenly Courts lit up. At the same time, the runes around the altar also emitted a glow. The entire underground space changed drastically all of a sudden. It was as if time and space had been reversed. Lu Ming and the group seemed to be in a starry universe. In the starry sky, there were countless stars. At this moment, they were all emitting dazzling light. Waves of gentle starlight fell on their bodies. Comfortable. Being enveloped by the starlight, the only thing they felt was comfort. It was as if their bodies had relaxed. Every pore on their bodies opened up, and every cell in their bodies started operating. At the same time, their minds were extremely clear. All the negative emotions in their hearts disappeared, as if their souls had been sublimated. This state, Lu Ming was shocked. This state was very similar to the feeling he had on the Bodhi tree stump, but the effect was much stronger. In an instant, dozens of secret techniques flashed through his mind. It was as if he had a new understanding of these secret techniques. The starlight was constantly seeping into his pores and activating his cells. It was constantly improving and strengthening his body. Not only his body, but also his taboo energy. Lu Ming felt that by absorbing this energy, his taboo energy would be strengthened. However, at this moment, the surrounding environment suddenly changed again. The stars disappeared, and the feeling of clarity also disappeared. They had returned to the underground space. Lu Ming looked around and saw Xian Yinqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shun, Dark Night Rose, and the others. They all looked like they had not had enough. Obviously, they had also entered the starry sky. How do you feel? In such an environment, can your cultivation speed be greatly increased? The Life Spirit, the Master of the Heavenly Court, asked. In such an environment, we can indeed improve quickly, but in 3 years, Lu Ming replied. Towards the end of his sentence, he started to ponder. Even in such an environment, it was still impossible to comprehend a second secret technique that belonged to him in 3 years. The array here is called the Divine Creation Array. As its name suggests, one can obtain supreme fortune in the array. This is a backup plan that I set up in the early years. I was entangled by the 3 lifetime soul fire. The 3 lifetimes divine fire can continuously corrode one's body and soul, causing one to become muddle-headed and eventually sink into oblivion. Back then, I was severely injured and half of my taboo energy was sucked away. If not for the divine creation array to keep my mind clear, I would have sunk into oblivion. Even if I did not die, I would have become a walking corpse. Similarly, when an ordinary person is in the divine creation array, their mind will be clear and free of impurities and impurities. It can also strengthen the power of the soul, greatly increasing the comprehension of the living beings in it. Also, this formation contains a huge amount of treasures. Although I've used up a lot of them over the years, it still contains a lot of energy once it's activated. Most importantly, this formation also contains the spine of a primitive godly spirit. That primitive godly spirit is a primitive godly spirit that can control time and space. It can be said that it's the ancestor of the stone spirit and spirit rats. When it's in the formation, it can control time and speed it up to 100 times faster than the outside world. In other words, 3 years of cultivation inside is equivalent to 300 years of cultivation outside. The life spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, explained in detail. So mysterious, Lu Ming was excited. 3 years was equivalent to 300 years of cultivation outside, and in such an environment, it was entirely possible for him to comprehend his second secret skill. There are 2 main difficulties for you to become a divine master. One is to create a door that can be used to build a bridge to the universe ocean. This is actually very simple. It's easy to construct it using your own cells that have fused with the secret skill. The most difficult part is to comprehend your own secret skill. Once this is solved, it won't be difficult for you to break through to the divine master realm. Also, once I activate the array, all of you can cultivate inside. With your foundation, most of you can break through to the divine master realm. What do you think, little guy? Do you want to consider it? The life spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said in a tempting voice. End of chapter. Chapter 4488. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He had to admit that the life spirit Heavenly Court Master's words were very tempting. Not only could he break through to the Almighty Realm, but so could Autumn Moon and the others. Once they did, their strength would increase tremendously. All right, I agree. Lu Ming pondered for a moment before agreeing. Under such circumstances, he had no choice. If he did not agree, they would all die when the heavenly human tribe refined the formation and broke in. According to the life spirit Heavenly Court Master, there was someone at the level of the Lord of Heaven among the heavenly human tribe outside. Previously, the Lord of Heaven was busy refining the protective formation and did not have time to attack them. Once the Lord of Heaven attacked, they would not be able to resist. The Lord of Heaven could kill them as easily as killing an ant. The difference was too great. If he agreed to the life spirit Heavenly Court Master's conditions, he would at least have a chance of survival. Even if the Lord of Heaven had evil intentions and possessed him, at least Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shan, and Qiu Qiu would survive. It could be said that he had no choice. Hence, Lu Ming agreed without hesitation. Lu Ming, young master, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and the others were worried. However, Anya Rose, Di Jianyi, and the others were delighted. No matter what happened to Lu Ming, it was great news for Di Jianyi and the others. Lu Ming glanced at Dark Knight Rose and the rest. He really wanted to suggest to the Life Soul Heavenly Court Master to exclude Dark Knight Rose and the rest from entering the Creation Divine Array. However, on second thought, Lu Ming rejected the idea. With Anya Rose and the others' talents, it would not be a problem for them to break through to the Almighty Realm. It was just a matter of time. If they were not allowed to enter the formation now, they would be able to break through later. Another thing was that it was hard to predict what would happen 3 years later. Who knew if the Life Spirit Heavenly Court Master could deal with the people from the Heavenly Court after merging into his body? After all, the life spirit of the Lord of the Heavenly Court looked too weak. If Dark Knight Rose and the others broke through to the Godlord realm and became much stronger, they would attract a lot of firepower and change the situation. This was beneficial to Xian Yanqing and the others. After all, Dark Knight Rose and the others did not have any deep grudges with them. It was just that they had different ideologies. Even if it was Di Jianyi, who had been enemies with Lu Ming in the Taishu dynasty, it was because they had their own masters. Hence, there was no grudge between the two of them. All right, there's no time to lose. Let's begin. I'll open the array. You guys enter the array and cultivate. Lu Ming, if you have any questions, you can ask me at any time. The life spirit, the lord of the heavenly court, said, "Thank you, senior." Lu Ming cupped his fists. Then, let's start the formation. The voice of the heavenly court rang out. As soon as it spoke, the runes on the altar and the ground glowed again. In the next moment, Lu Ming and the others returned to the starry sky. They bathed in the starlight and sat cross-legged to cultivate. Lu Ming also sat cross-legged in the starry sky. He closed his eyes and began to cultivate. First, he had to open a door. A black hole would appear in the elixir field of others. That was the door to the universe sea. But he did not. He had to do it himself. However, it was not difficult. He had mastered tens of thousands of secret skills and had integrated them into the cells in his body. He only needed to use the cells that had integrated the secret skills as the foundation to create a door. His body began to shine with spots of light. Those were the cells that had been fused with the secret technique runes. Each cell was as bright as a star. What I need to do is to connect these cells together, Lu Ming said to himself and began to try. Soon, there was movement. A cell between his eyebrows shone. Then, a thread extended and connected to another glowing cell nearby. Then, a thread extended out from the second cell and connected to the third cell. In this way, the second cell connected to the third to the fourth, and the fourth to the fifth. About half a month later, the tens of thousands of cells in his body that had integrated the secret skill runes were connected. It was like a painting. Under Lu Ming's meticulous drawing, the tens of thousands of points connected to form a pattern. This pattern looked like a door. Open! Lu Ming shouted softly. All the cells in his body trembled. Taboo power gushed out of every cell and surged into the tens of thousands of cells. All of a sudden, the tens of thousands of cells shone brightly. Then, an extremely powerful force gathered in the middle of the door. The space in the middle of the door started to tremble and crumble. In the end, a pitch-black vortex appeared. This vortex kept spinning. It was unfathomable. No one knew where it led to. I did it. Lu Ming was overjoyed. He had finally evolved a door. This door was the door to the universe sea. Its effect was similar to the other people's black holes. However, the others evolved step by step through star cores and stars. He, on the other hand, evolved with the surrounding cells as the foundation and the forbidden power as the carrier. Senior, does my cultivation in the Divine Lord realm also require me to open a universal bridge through this door? Lu Ming's spiritual sense vibrated and sent out a message. He knew that the master of the heavenly court could hear it. Sure enough, the next moment, the master of the heavenly court's voice rang out. Not necessarily. The life spirit, the lord of the heavenly court, said, I can't say for sure. After all, there are too few taboo bodies in history. Before me, as far as I know, there was only one taboo body that cultivated to the divine master realm. Unfortunately, that taboo body perished at the divine master realm. As far as I know, when he broke through to the almighty realm, he didn't open a universe bridge. Instead, it was a platform. As he continued to cultivate, the platform would carry his consciousness deeper and deeper. However, that person didn't break through to the origin realm. I don't know what the result of his cultivation will be. As for me, what I opened was a path paved with white jade. Following this path, you can reach the universe sea. Therefore, I speculate that the path to the universe sea created by the forbidden body may be different. The master of the heavenly court's life spirit said, Is that so? Lu Ming muttered, Now that you've opened the door, you can begin to comprehend your own secret technique. Once you succeed, it shouldn't be difficult for you to break through to the almighty realm. The master of the heavenly court's life spirit said, All right. Lu Ming nodded. With a thought, the cells in his body dimmed and the door disappeared. Of course, it didn't really disappear. As long as he willed it, the door would reappear. In this aspect, he was different from ordinary cultivators. For ordinary cultivators, the black hole in their dantian existed at all times. However, the door he created could open and close at will. End of chapter. Chapter 4489. After completing the first step, Lu Ming began the second step, which was to comprehend his own secret technique. This step was also the most difficult, because Lu Ming still had no clue. Lu Ming closed his eyes. Under the creation divine formation, his mind was clear and his comprehension was greatly improved. In his mind, all kinds of ordinary secret techniques and ancient secret techniques flashed continuously. Originally, Lu Ming had almost cultivated all of these secret techniques to greater mastery, but now, he suddenly had a new understanding of these secret techniques. Although there are many changes, there are still similarities. As long as I can comprehend the core and use it as a reference, it won't be difficult to comprehend my own secret technique, Lu Ming pondered. After reviewing all the secret techniques, there was only one secret technique left in his mind. Previously, he had only briefly reviewed them. Now, he was going to carefully comprehend each of the secret techniques. Buzz. At this moment, the primordial celestial stone in his sea of consciousness vibrated, and a mysterious aura spread out. On the primordial celestial stone, there were fine lines of runes. These runes seemed to be alive as they constantly swam and intertwined to form different patterns. Then, they scattered and intertwined to form new patterns. There were endless changes, and it was mysterious and unpredictable. Looking at these patterns was also beneficial to Lu Ming's comprehension of the secret technique. With the support of the primordial celestial stone, Lu Ming's comprehension of the secret technique became faster. When comprehending a single secret technique, he would gain new insights almost every moment. Lu Ming spent a day comprehending this secret technique, and then changed to another secret technique. In a day's time, Lu Ming's comprehension of this secret technique had increased by a large margin. Compared to before, it was much stronger, and its power was also much stronger than before. It was a step further. With the support of the creation divine formation, 3 years in the outside world was equivalent to 300 years in here. Therefore, Lu Ming had the time to comprehend all kinds of secret techniques. Fei Huang said that at the end of cultivation, one had to forget all the secret techniques that one had comprehended in the past. Only the secret techniques that one had comprehended were left in one's heart. However, Lu Ming was still very far from that level. They needed to reach reciprocity at the very least to touch upon that realm. At this stage, Lu Ming did not need to do that at all. At this stage, Lu Ming did not want to forget. Instead, he wanted to deepen his comprehension. After comprehending it to the extreme, then forget it. Lu Ming only spent 1 day on each secret technique. Of course, Lu Ming would spend more time on the primordial secret skills. However, there were only over 1,800 types of primordial secret skills. Even if he spent more time on them, it would not take too long. Just like that, time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, 10 years had passed. Of course, these 10 years referred to the 10 years in the creation divine formation and not the 10 years in the outside world. That is, suddenly, Lu Ming felt that there was a powerful force not far away. This force was too familiar. It was Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming ended his cultivation and looked in that direction. Xiao Qing is about to break through. Lu Ming was overjoyed. Obviously, Xian Yanqing was about to break through to the divine master realm. Anya Rose is also about to break through. Lu Ming's eyes moved and looked in the other direction. Anya Rose was also emitting a powerful aura. Obviously, she was also about to break through to the divine master realm. Xian Yanqing and Anya Rose were already very close to the divine master realm. In the highest immortal city, they were almost able to break through. They had been suppressing their cultivation and did not break through. After this period of cultivation, their breakthroughs were completely achieved when the conditions were right. Their auras were getting stronger and stronger, alarming the others. Autumn, Wan Shun, Di Jiani, Yin Juling, Ling Hong, and the others woke up and looked at the two of them. After a while, their auras reached the peak. With a loud boom, the two of them had entered the divine master realm. Huff, huff, huff. In the starry sky, the stars shone brightly. Rays of gentle starlight gathered towards the two of them and were absorbed into their bodies. This starlight was actually the treasures in the creation divine formation. It contained a huge amount of energy and was extremely pure. It was constantly being converted into the two of them's power. At this moment, the master of the heavenly court was also carefully sizing up Xian Yinqing and Anya Rose. The more he looked, the more shocked he was. This seems to be the power of reincarnation. Could the two of them be reincarnated? Who are they? Are they people from the previous era? No, judging from their expressions, they should have appeared later than me. Could it be that the younger generation has already mastered reincarnation? The master of the heavenly court could not calm himself down and let his imagination run wild. Slowly, Xian Yinqing and Anya Rose's auras stabilized and concealed themselves. Of course, they had just broken through to the divine master realm and needed some time to consolidate. The others also began to cultivate, trying to break through to the divine master realm as soon as possible. Lu Ming also began to cultivate again. He began to comprehend one secret technique after another. In the blink of an eye, 200 years had passed. In these 200 years, Lu Ming had comprehended tens of thousands of secret techniques. He had a completely new understanding of each secret technique. My secret techniques, Lu Ming muttered. In his mind, secret technique after secret technique flashed. The advantages and disadvantages of each secret technique appeared in his mind. Intertwine, converge, evolve, Lu Ming muttered to himself. His hands involuntarily danced. His 10 fingers streaked across the void like lightning, drawing out patterns. These runes intertwined with each other to form a secret technique. However, this secret technique soon collapsed and disappeared. No, it's still an ancient secret technique, Lu Ming muttered and continued to evolve. The secret technique that his hands had just formed was still an ancient secret technique. It was not a secret technique that he had comprehended himself. At most, he had only changed it a little and mixed in some other secret techniques. But it was far from being a secret technique that belonged to him. Continue. Lu Ming seemed to be crazy as he immersed himself in comprehending the secret technique. Time passed day by day. During this period, Wan Shun had broken through to the Divine Master Realm. Qiu Yu had also broken through to the Divine Master Realm. Even Qiu had become a 9th-level divine god after refining the incomplete origin divine weapon. In addition, Di Jiani, Yin Juling, and Ling Hong had also broken through to the divine master realm. However, Lu Ming was still focused on cultivating. Lu Ming's hands did not stop at all. He was constantly practicing the secret technique. A secret technique was formed and then collapsed. Soon, another few dozen years had passed. The secret technique that Lu Ming had evolved had a great change. In the beginning, the secret technique that he had evolved had the shadow of other ancient secret techniques. But slowly, the shadow faded. It seemed to form a new secret technique. The Apex, you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.